Hello. So, I have made a Google Slides game. Give me a second. No, whatever. I have made a Google Slides game based on the 2017 game. No, not 2017. 2007 game Team Fortress 2. So, first, I'll just tell you how this game works. When it is so you're going to pick 4 of the 9 classes available to you. Flash warning, I guess. And each turn, you can move twice, attack twice, and use 2 abilities. I will be going into more depth later, but first, let me show you the win condition. So, how you win the game is by getting this gray rectangle. The control point is controlling the control point for 5 turns. When you step on the control point will turn your color. Please ignore. There are 2 teams, red and blue. It's a 2-player game. So, red will have 1. Please ignore how blue has 1. I forgot to... whatever. But... red has 1. Now, if red steps off the control point, it will still belong to red. But if blue steps onto the control point... see, I fixed it. It does not belong to blue until the red player is gone. Okay. So, this is like the screen where, all your classes and their HP cooldowns and buffs are going to be. And this is the first class. This is the Scout. Scout has 125 HP, a cooldown of 3 for his bonk, and has a cooldown of 3 for his bonk, and does 60 damage, range of 3. So, here's how you're going to set up the little thing, square here. So let's say I want to pick Scout. I'm going to grab the Scout icon, Control-C, Control-V, Control-C, Control-V, drag him into the box. If you want, not required, increase the size of him a little bit. Then you want to go to this box right here, highlight the entire thing, Control-C, move over here, highlight the entire thing, Control-V. And now all of Scout's stuff is here, except for the name for some reason. I'll fix that in the actual release of the game. Anyways, back to the slideshow. Right now, I'll just show you how speed works. Speed works like this. Let's say that there's a Scout right here. Scout has a speed of 12, so he can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces. You can only move horizontally and vertically. You may not move diagonally. The next class is the Soldier. Soldier has 200 HP, a speed of 7. He does 90 damage, but any enemies next to the target take 30 damage. With a range of 6, the ability Rocket Jump, which lets him move to a higher elevation or 3 steps forward, but 50 damage. And the ability Banner, which gives all teammates plus 3 speed and plus 30 damage. It has a cooldown of 600, meaning you have to do 600 damage to use this ability. Now I feel is a good time to show you elevation. So Soldier's Rocket Jump lets him move up in elevation, right? You can't normally do this. You can, there are these little narrow spots, but the bold spots pretty much act like walls for movement. It's also a one-way for shooting. So, like, for example, you can shoot from a higher elevation to a lower elevation. You can shoot from an equal elevation to another equal elevation. But you cannot shoot from a lower elevation to a higher elevation. Now, you'll see here, these 2 areas are the highest elevation, elevation 3. These 2 elevations, these like entire chunks are the same elevation of 2, and this area right here, this entire green and gray area, is an elevation of 1. Alright, so now we're going to go to Pyro. Pyro has a HP pool of 175 and is immune to Afterburn, which is a debuff that the Pyro can give. He has a speed of 9 and a damage of 70. His range is a 2x3 rectangle in front of him, which I'll get to in a second. And he has the ability of Air Blast. Enemies get blasted 2 spaces forward and can deflect soldier and demo attacks. So if a soldier or demo tries to attack Pyro, he can deflect it if it's off cooldown. It has a range of 1 for the other functionality, which is moving an enemy 2 spaces forward, which I probably should show. But I actually forgot to make like an actual slideshow for it. Oh no, I did not. Okay. Now the 2x3 rectangle is a 2x3 rectangle like in front of him. So the orange spot is his range. He can do this all around him, but he can only choose one at a time. Now the air blast pushes 2 spaces. The air blast pushes 2 spaces, but it can also make enemies move from a higher elevation to a lower elevation, like I just did with this soldier. It can... Actually, no, never mind. Anyways, the Demolitionist, or the Demo Man. He has an HP of 175, a speed of 8, a damage of 100, but can also throw to a higher elevation, and does 45 damage to enemies next to the target, with a range of 3. But I should mention that if you do throw to a higher elevation, you only have a range of 2. And his ability is a Sticky Bomb, which puts a landmine down where he started. If an enemy steps on this landmine, they take 100 damage and he can only have 8 at a time. It has a cooldown of 1, though. He can place it every turn. Now, I actually did this wrong, but anyways, Demo can, 1, 2, see, obviously he can shoot to higher elevations, but also he has the landmines. Now, I did this wrong. This is actually from one of the unlocks, which is a system later in the game, but if an enemy steps on these little, red or dark blue things, which represent the landmines, then they take 100 damage. Next is the Heavy. Heavy has a HP pool of 300, a speed of 7, and damage. Okay, so he rolls a d20 and then multiplies the damage by 5. Now, I might change this, but so far I don't really have any plans on changing it. He has a range of 4, and his ability is the Sandwich. It heals you by 300, and the cooldown is 4, but it is the only thing you can do on the turn you do it. And then his other ability is Rev/Derev. He can't do anything else on the turn he revs, and it decreases his speed to 5, and there's no sandwich. But damage is multiplied by 10 and not 5, and he can unrev at any time. So range also kind of works like movement. So, as you can see, this is the Heavy's range. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't have to do the entire thing, like 1, 1. But that's mainly how range works. Next up is the Engineer. Engineer has an HP of 125, a speed of 9, damage of 60, range of 3, and his ability is to build, repair, and upgrade. So, all 3 of these abilities are grouped into one thing, just to not make him too good. Anyway, so build. He makes a sentry with 150 HP, a speed of 0, and a damage of 30. He can only have 1. Range of 3. He can only have 1. Repair. If a sapper is on the sentry, remove it. Otherwise, heal 20 HP from the sentry. Upgrade. If at full HP and there's no sapper, then upgrade the sentry by giving it 30 more HP and 10 more damage. It can only be upgraded to level 3. It has a range of 1 and a cooldown of 2. Pretty much you can only... oh wait, why is the sentry not there? Anyways, so he can build a sentry, and he can also attack independently from the sentry. I should have done a thing of how to sap sentries, spy, but whatever. Then there's the Medic. Medic has an HP of 150. He has a speed of 10. Oh, I'm doing something.
Are you recording?
Yeah. My bad, that was my brother. He has a speed of 10, a damage of 10, a range of 3, and his ability is, so as you can really see here, he's not meant for combat. He doesn't do anything. His ability is Heal. Heals teammates by 50 if they are already at full HP, then add a 1.5 time health to, add 1.5 times health to the, target. Once the medic is no longer healing, the extra health goes down by 50 a turn. Has a range of 3 and a cooldown of 1. His other ability is Uber, which makes the target and the medic immune to damage for 3 turns, but it doesn't... I'm also, as you probably know, I can't spell things, so, spelling errors are gonna be a very common thing. But it makes it so that the medic and the target are immune to damage for 3 turns. And it does not charge for those turns, and has a cooldown of 5. But unlike other abilities, unlike a lot of other abilities that start off fully charged, Medic's Uber charge does not. It actually starts off with 0 charge. Now, to heal your target, you pretty much have to double-click on the medic, find these little dots next to the squares, and move them to a purple dot on the opponent, or on your healed target. Now, this will show that the medic is healing the heavy. And it could be any other class. Next up is the sniper. Now, I didn't really, he has an HP of 125. I'm gonna remove, give me a second. Hold up. I'm just gonna remove the scoping mechanic, just mid-video patch. Okay. Anyways. He has a speed of 9, a damage of 200, and a range of 8, but he only uses queen attack. And really, I should have made a thing for this, but I didn't. I got lazy. But 1, 2, 3. But he can only attack. He can only attack horizontally and diagonally, not anywhere else. So, as you can see, just like this, very simple. Pretty simple attack pattern. Now, here's the thing I would recommend for Sniper. I would recommend putting him at the highest elevation you can, which is a 3. The little sniper nest. I put this spot here specifically for Sniper. So he has just a little nest. Soldiers might also be able to make a little bit of use out of it, but it's mainly for Sniper. Hold on, I'm just gonna... Now here's the fun part. Here, hold on. Here's the fun part. Sniper's ability. Headshot. If an enemy walks into your range, they take 450 damage. The cooldown is 4, but resets every time you move. So every time you move your sniper, the cooldown goes all the way back to 0. You can see the little graphic of his range and where I recommend putting him, which is the little nest up here. And then it's the Spy. The Spy has a HP of 125, a speed of 10, and a damage of 40, but is an insta-kill if their opponent is horizontal to you. Hold on, let me grab Sniper real quick. Like this. Just pretend the sniper's a blue sniper. This would mean the Spy is able to instantly kill the sniper. But otherwise, you'd have to rely on the 40 damage that you do, which isn't bad, but still not good. His ability is Cloak. It costs 2. Okay, so the Cloak ability doesn't have a normal cooldown. Every turn, the Cloak meter, which is the little 10 out of 10 you see right here, goes down by 2 every turn you decide to have your Cloak up. And it goes up by 1 every turn that you're not cloaked. You cannot be damaged while cloaked, but you can also not attack or sap. You can decloak at any time. He also has another ability, Sap. He puts a sapper on a sentry that takes away 50 health every turn, and has a cooldown of 1. So let me just show you real quick in the engineer section. So say that this engineer has a sentry being sapped. You put a little exclamation mark next to the level, and this means the sentry can no longer attack until gets 50 damage lost every turn until the engineer uses their ability to unsap the sentry. Now let me show you how an indicator of how you know that your spy is cloaked. You cannot cloak and decloak in the same turn, but pretty much you go over to, you click on your spy, you click again on the little eyes. You should know that you've clicked on the eyes if the paint bucket right here is red. Then you want to go, see the check mark, go 1 down, light red 3. Now this shows that your spy is cloaked. Same thing with blue. You see the check mark on blue. Right there. Right there. Yep, spy's cloaked. And if you want to change back, well, it's pretty simple. You just gotta go back, click on the red, and now your spy is uncloaked. I should also probably tell you how to set up sentries. So engineer sets up sentries by going to the fill color. So click on the spot that you want your sentry to be on. Hold up, I actually want to know the color I picked. Okay. This one. Then find your team color, either blue or red or blue. Then go all the way down, 1, 2, 3 up, and that is where, and that's what color your sentry is going to be. You put the LV, you put the level on, and then you also put the H. Then you want to actually probably decrease the font size by 1, and then HP 100, 150. See? Alright. And that is my turn-based version of Team Fortress 2. If you have any thing you want me to tell, if there's any, like, questions, just tell me. But other than that, I will see you later.